Hurricane Dorian is slamming parts of the northwestern Bahamas. The storm made landfall as a Category 5 storm in the Abaco Islands Sunday afternoon. It is the strongest hurricane in modern records in the area. The storm's maximum sustained winds have increased to 185 miles per hour, and forecasters say a life-threatening storm surge of...
My name is Christopher Pennerman. I'm from the Bahamas, and I lived in Abaco, Bahamas for the past 10 years. I worked for Froggies as a dive instructor, and I also helped them manage the business. You know, we know when June arrives, that's hurricane time. And I actually heard about it word of mouth first that, hey, there's a storm coming that's gonna be here in about, I think like a week and a half, they told us. So when they told us what the storm is going to be, a 3, and they're like, okay, yeah, we can handle a 3, yeah, whatever, the 3 is coming. And then you have 4, and you're like, okay. And then you have 5, you're like, whoa, okay, let's see what's going to happen here.
Hurricane Dorian is slamming parts of the northwestern Bahamas. The storm made landfall as a Category 5 storm in the Abaco Islands Sunday afternoon.
But Hurricane Dorian, a Category 5, this storm was stronger than the actual Category 5 hurricane. Once the storm came, my daughter, she was afraid. She was like terrified. Like we couldn't go anywhere without her, of course. She's afraid, we're afraid, everybody's afraid in the house. And because we don't know what to expect then. Once the eye passed over us, everybody, my landlord and a few of the other tenants, we tried to see, hey, can we go somewhere that's safer, because we don't know what's going to happen when the back of the eye comes. Pretty much the front of the eye just weakened everything, and then the back is going to come and clean the rest of it up. There was no way for us to get out. So after we realized that hey, we are going to have to sit this one out, it was like we got to pray and get back inside. And everybody, you can see everybody was like, okay guys, good luck. And we were pretty much sitting ducks waiting in the house as Dorian came by and just finished tear whatever it was tearing up. And when the back of the eye was starting to do its damage, that's when the apartment started to take more damage as well. That's when the ceiling started to cave in, all of the rock sheet, everything was just falling in. So we actually ran to the bathroom. The bathroom was the only place where we felt safe. So Brittany and Kalia sat in the tub. I put the mattress over them, and I pretty much hanged like half in, half out while they were inside. But at that point, we were like, okay, this is it. If Dorian is going to take us, then he's going to take us inside here. Like, we prayed, and they were crying, and Kalia sat there, she was crying, and Brittany was crying, and then I was like, whoa, like, okay, this is really happening. It felt as if though we were in a movie, to be honest with you. Even now, like, I still can't believe, like, I try to wrap my mind around, okay, this can actually happen. This is something that actually happened to us. The shock from it was so painful. You were looking around at everything that, you know, everyone that worked really hard for, it's all gone at the hands of Mother Nature. And you saw all of this happening, and you're like, is this real? Like, God, is this real? Like, what is this that we're going through? And at this point in time, everybody was like, we gotta get out. Once we got word that people were flying out of Sandy Point, we actually headed down there after calling a friend who had a small private plane. Once we spoke to Jen that, hey, we're getting out this way, she was like, okay, if you guys get to Nassau, and I'll handle it from there. And we was like, are you sure? She's like, yeah, get to Nassau, and we'll handle it from there. Well, the way I met Jen was pretty much, a visitor at the time. And now it's home for her because we all look at her as a local. Most of the people in Hopetown probably look at her as a local by now. But the way I met Jen, she showed up and she wanted to do a tour. And so she actually decided to book a few more trips with us. And every time she came down to Hopetown, she would, come and look for me, and she would book trips. She would reach out to my family. There's a lot of customers that I meet who I hear from like every now and then, but for some reason, like when we first met, I told her that, hey, there's a reason like God brought us together, and we never really expected to go through, that storm, and that being the reason that we met. And then after the storm happened, I was like, you remember when I told you, like, when I first met you, that we were brought together for a reason? And she's like, yeah. She's like, why? I said, this is why. So she actually started the 3C Hurricane Relief Fund, which is a nonprofit organization, just to simply help. The organization pretty much, they just care about being there for their brothers and sisters. And, they want to make sure that, we can create some kind of normalcy for everyone. So we're pretty much in Wilmington, in North Carolina. The reason we've been here for so long is that we don't have anywhere to stay at the moment. That's the case for most people back home. This is not over yet. It's going to be at least 3 to 5 years of rebuilding, and we want to be able to contribute to that. But this is going to be a long road to recovery for us, and we need all the help we can get. And I think everybody realizes that this is going to be a long process. We just have to be patient and be thankful for the help that we're getting. I hope no one's out there being ungrateful and, trying to pick and choose the help that they're receiving. We just need to be thankful for whatever help it is that we're getting, be thankful for life, and be thankful for whatever it is that we're receiving. And eventually we will get back to where we were, or even better.